Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. This time giving a bit of love to a trusty late game AK build that I've found myself using quite a bit lately. I've been watching my cash reserves steadily go on a pretty downwards trend for a while now, as I've been carelessly running expensive loadouts and blowing cash on viewer suggested meme runs. So every now and then, I find myself needing a cheap but effective setup that can carry me through some fat raids without draining my roubles. Since basically every type of AK has been buffed in some way or another during this patch, naturally they're a pretty good choice for this. Since they're pretty damn affordable, they run ammo that can take down high tier armor for a good price, they aren't super valuable so they come back through insurance, so you can get a few good raids out of them. Say what you will about the 545 ammo in Tarkov, but I find it quite reliable right now, and the ammo is fairly easy to come by through barter trades or looting raiders and bosses. 7.62 BP doesn't really need an introduction either, as it's one of the most widely available and effective ammo types in the game right now. This exact build will work on both the AK-74M and the AK-103, which are the two that I recommend sticking with if you're going to run an AK because they have better base stats and can sometimes use more cost-effective attachments. For this video, I'll just be quickly covering the build that I've been using on the AK-74M, and then I have some gameplay clips with this setup so you can see it in action. The first order of business is to strip every single part off the AK except for the basic folding stock, which is part of the build because it's really effective and it doesn't really need replacing unless you want it to look more tactical. For the muzzle device, par for the course on any high level AK build, we're going with the JMac RRD 4C compensator available at mechanic level 3. As a disclaimer, because I always get a comment on every AK video lately saying that this part isn't actually sold at level 3, there's two types of this muzzle device. One is sold at level 3 and fits onto the modern AKs, and one is sold at level 4 and is used on the AKM only. Next, for the handguard, I'm using the Troy Gas Block Combo Handguard, which has the best recoil stats currently and a pretty good price. And overall, it's the most expensive part you'll be using, and it's only 21,000 rubles. The rails for this handguard are the unique QARS rails, which are also sold by mechanic level 4, and really the only downfall of this build is that these parts are locked behind a pretty high level. If you don't have this stuff unlocked, it's not really a huge deal. Just replace this handguard with something like the RS-47 or the B-10 handguard, and you only lose a few points of recoil overall. For the grip, I like to use the RK1 on AK builds because it doesn't really bump the price up too much, and I like that extra point of recoil control. You'll also need a tactical device like the X400 flashlight or something similar, and it's not really crucial to the build what you choose, so pick your preference here. For the sight mount, in the interest of being budget friendly, I just use the Bastion dust cover, which is pretty much the best overall, even though it's unlocked at level 1. Your choice of sight is up to you, but I like to use the SRS reflex sight as a good cheap option. You'll also see a lot of the Elcan Spectre scope in the gameplay clips, but that's just because I'm a huge fanboy for the Elcan. The last recoil attachment is the GP25 recoil pad, which makes the basic AK stock well worth using, and personally, I don't usually change this out to more expensive stocks. The final parts for this build are the Scorpius pistol grip and the RP1 charging handle for the ergonomics points, but you can honestly skip these or use a cheaper pistol grip if you don't care too much about a few points of ergonomics here and there. When this is built on an AK-74M, this build ends up with 48 recoil and around 49 ergonomics while you're running the 60 round extended mags, for only 130,000 rubles, which I think is a steal of a deal. Most high level builds easily run into the 200 to 300,000 ruble range, but this thing can compete on their same level at all ranges for half the price. If you set this up on an AK-103, you get 61 recoil and around 65 ergonomics for only about 15 to 20,000 rubles extra, since the AK-103 is a bit more expensive to buy. Either of these setups is a pretty solid choice for budget-conscious builds, and I'm kinda surprised by just how stable the AK-74M is with that 48 recoil. One critique I can definitely see is the question of why I wouldn't just use an RPK, and honestly, I think that the AK-74M ends up with better stats for a better price, and the muzzle flash on the RPK is a little bit intense compared to the AK in my experience, so I find it much easier to keep my shots on target when running a loud build using the AK as opposed to the RPK. Well, that covers it for the build, and now I'm going to let some gameplay with this setup run for the rest of the video. This build is purely focused on putting together a setup that can compete at high levels without the price tag associated with top tier builds, and I think it does that job pretty well. If you find your ruble count running a bit low while you're trolling around with expensive loadouts in the late game, a tasteful AK build like this is great for farming runs when you also want to be able to take out geared PMCs and bosses as well. I hope you enjoy the build, and let me know what you think down in the comments. What's your favorite budget setup for the late game, and what do you think of AKs in their current state right now? Thanks for checking out the video. I've got links to my Twitch stream, Discord server, and Patreon page down below for anyone interested, and until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City.
bad guy over there.
Jesus, I gotta push these guys from a different angle, I think. Yeah, this guy's totally coming in behind me right now. Ah, they're getting two separate angles. These guys are playing it right. Dude, I pinned him through the concrete there. Fuck, dude, they're coming from everywhere. Ultimate greed. Ultimate greed. Greed is good. This guy's like, no, he's not peeking the angle that I'm peeking. Oh, gotcha. I'm out of energy, though. Uh-oh. Come on, give me some peas. Grab the smokes just because. Pretty sure that I clipped that guy's head. I need some water, too, pretty bad, though. There's somebody up here, though. fuck. Ah, I gotta go. It's a good thing I dropped my backpack there, right? Overstayed, boys. Overstayed. It sucks that that guy showed up right as I was starting to loot that dude, though, with no water and, like, super overweight. I actually think that might be a Gluhar guard. I'm not sure. He looked like he had the PP-19 that they sometimes have. I think this is a Gluhar guard. I don't know. Oh yeah, yep. Someone just moved inside the train car over there. Oh no. No! I think one of those guys got blown up by a grenade. You're dead, Gluhar. Shut up. Factory key. Let's see what he's got in the TV. Labs card? No. Yeah, bad ammo. But you know what? The magazines are kind of worth selling on the market. I knew there was going to be at least one more. I just sensed it. What the fuck? Raiders now? Oh, there's one random raider. With a SA-58. You think he's calling me over to the scav extract? Because that kind of sounded like the dun 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 dun. Maybe not. More raiders. Oh my god, they're coming for me. Oh, last round. Lucky. They're gonna look at me though and be like, maybe we just kill this guy. I'm just gonna check these 2 raiders. Let's do it. All right. Should I drop him some shit?
Тут, короче, друган мой бывал пусть. Нормас, нормас. Охуенно, ща поживимся.
Yeah, they don't want it, I guess. Cool. Me and the homies. All right. Sweet. Dude, I haven't done that extraction since the event, right at the end of last wipe. 19K. Nice. Look at all those raiders.